Hello friends, welcome to CrackGate CSE, and in this series of database, today we will understand weak entity set in ER diagram. So before starting this video, I would like to request you all, if you had not subscribed to my channel till now, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get an update whenever I am uploading any new video. Now let's start with this weak entity set. So an entity type should have a key attribute. So we know that if there is an entity, that should have a key attribute, but there are some entity set with no keys. That means there exists some entity set with no keys, and these are known as the weak entity set. That means if an entity set is not having any key, that will be considered as a weak entity set. If the entity set is having enough attribute to form a primary key, that will be known as strong entity set. That means if there is any entity which is having sufficient number of attribute and any one attribute can be used as a primary key, then it will be a strong entity set. Now participation toward weak entity set and must be total. So here you can see that this is weak entity set and it is represented by the bordered rectangle. So there you can say that it is a bordered rectangle, and the relationship with that particular entity is also represented by the bordered diamond shape. So this is the bordered rectangle, this is the bordered diamond shape. So what it says that this point says that there has to be total participation towards the weak entity, and because all of these attributes will take part in the relationship. We'll see how in this example. So mapping between strong and weak entity set must be one to many. So you can see that this is one and this is many side. So what it is saying that mapping from between strong and weak entity set must be one to many, because see, this is a weak entity set and this is a part of the strong entity set. That means it is related to this E1. It has its identity on the basis of owner entity set or strong entity set. So this is the kind of owner, and these are some information which we can represent using the owner entity set, right? So E1, every record of E1 can be mapped with many records of E2. This is what the meaning of this M. Every record of E1 can map with many. M means many record of E2, and every record of E2 can map with exactly one record of E1. So see, this is an example. In this example I am having account entity set, which is the identifier, or we can say owner, or we can say strong entity set. So these all are the same thing. This is the identifier, because the identity of weak entity set and the relationship is because of this particular entity. That's why it is known as identifier entity set or strong entity set, right? So this account entity is having two attributes, account ID and account name, where account ID is a key attribute. Similarly, in the transaction there are three attributes: TID, amount, status. But TID is not capable enough so that we can form it as a primary key, because there may be some cases when the transaction is same. For a particular account, the transaction may be uniquely identified, but if I talk about a country like India, there we are having multiple banks, and on those multiple banks there may be a case the transaction ID can be same for any other account if you make a transaction, because it is a random generated number, right? So there can be a case that transaction ID is same for any two records, right? So these are the details of this transaction entity, and these are the details for this account entity. And if there is any weak entity set and a relationship, that should be having a participation, total participation toward weak entity set, right? So you can see that there is a total participation. Mapping between strong and weak entity set must be one to many. So you can see that this is one, this is many. Now how to minimize these kind of ER diagram? If we are having any such ER diagram, then how can we minimize it? So you can see that I told you that every record of this transaction has to be in belongs to. So you can see that every record is there in belongs to, and every record can map with one account, at least one account. So you can see that T1 is mapped with A1, T2 is mapped with A2, T1 is mapped to A2, and T3 is mapped to A3. That means each record of this is mapped to this particular record, at least one record. So you can easily see that. Now I told you that every record of this particular account set can be related with many records of the transaction. So this A1 is record which is related to T1. This A2 you can see is related to 2 records. This A3 is record related to 1. So now if you want to merge it, how we can merge it? See, these two can be mapped into one table. How? This is the account ID, this is the AID. So AID along with the TID. So you can see that here we are not able to identify anyone as a primary key because T1 is repeated, it is also not unique, and it is also not unique. So it will combinedly work as a key. But if I merge it AID TID, so here another attribute will amount and state. So these 4 attributes will be, if there is in the table, if I combine it, so what will be the attribute? See, A1 T1 related it 5000, status is debit. Similarly A2 T2, so A2 T2, T2 is 6000 credit, it is 6000 credit. A2 T1, A2 T1, and T1 is 5000 debit, 5000 debit. Similarly A3 T3, 6000 debit, right? So this will be the table if I merge it. Now here you can see that this AID TID combinedly will be treated as a primary key because none of these are unique. So the key will be AID TID. So combinedly they will be treated as a key, right? So this is a table of transaction belongs to, because they have merged into a table, and this particular table will remain as it is, right? So this table will be same. Now if there is any question which can be asked, so what kind of question can be asked? One question that they can ask, how many minimum tables are required if we minimize it. So minimum 2 relational table. So minimum 2 relational tables are required. Another question they can ask you, what is the number of foreign key that we require? So you can see that there is only one key which can be treated as a foreign key because it will refer to this AID. So AID is a foreign key. Minimum 2 relational table and 1 foreign key is required. So this is how you can minimize a record if there is weak entity set. So this weak entity set along with multi-attribute. So if we are having weak entity set and multi-valued attribute, they are allowed to represent in ER diagram. So you know what is multi-valued attribute? If there is any attribute like phone. So these kind of attributes are known as multi-valued attribute. So these attributes are allowed. This attribute, multi-valued attribute, and this weak entity set, they are allowed in ER diagram only. They are not allowed in RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So in the next video, we will be practicing some questions if there is a multi-valued attribute in the account. So there is one question which came in the previous year GATE question. I think I don't remember it much. It might be in 2001 or any year later on. So in that question, in that year, one question was, when the ER diagram was given, one multi-valued attribute was also given. So in the next video, we will be solving such questions, that how you can minimize the ER diagram if there is any multi-valued attribute, right? So must watch that video also. And if you like this particular video, if you learn something from this video, like it, share it with your friends. Let me know your comments on the feedback, if whether they are good or you want to suggest me something so that I can improve for you. That will be very good, very appreciating. And in case if you have any doubt, any query, you can join my Facebook page and Facebook group. Links are given in the description. So thank you very much for your support. Keep learning, keep supporting. Have a great day.